Good morning, students. Welcome back to online class. Today we are going to discuss 7th lesson, heat. Okay, now let us move on to the introduction about heat. Already we know all the substances in our surrounding are made up of molecules, isn't it? So these molecules are generally at motion. So suppose the substances or the molecules are comes for the motion, it possesses some energy, isn't it? So this energy is called as what? Kinetic energy. This energy is called as what? Kinetic energy. At the same time, each molecule exerts a force of attraction on other molecules, and so they possess potential energy. It possesses what energy? Potential energy. So the sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy is called as internal energy of the molecules. Is called as what? Internal energy of the molecules. Already we know what is kinetic energy, what is potential energy. Already you have studied, isn't it? So here the sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy is called as the internal energy of the molecules. So this internal energy when flows out is called as heat energy. So what we are learning here? We are going to learn heat only. So heat is the energy that is transferred from one body to another as the result of a difference in temperature. It's a difference in what? The temperature. Suppose if two bodies at different temperatures are brought together, the energy is transferred, isn't it? That is, the heat energy is flows from hotter body to the colder body. Are you understand, ma? So what is heat energy? The internal energy when flows out. This only is called as the heat energy. So this energy is more in hot substances. The heat energy is more in which substance? Hot substances, and less in cold substances. That is a cold one, or we have to take as a chiller, isn't it? So the cold substances and flows from hot substances to the cold substances. That is only we have to take as what? The heat energy is transferred from one body to another. So in this lesson we are going to learn about how this heat energy takes place, and also we are going to learn what are the effects of heat capacity, a change of state, and a latent heat. So this is the introduction of heat. So next we have to move on to what are the effects of heat. When a substance is heated, the following things happens. So one is taken as expansion, second one is change in state, and third one change in temperature, and fourth one chemical changes. So what are the effects of heat? 4 effects can be obtained. One is expansion, second one is change in state, third one change in temperature, and fourth one chemical changes. Now let us see one by one. Okay, first we have to move on to the first change is expansion. When heat is added to a substance, the molecules gain energy, and afterwards it vibrates and the force other molecules are apart. As a result, the expansion takes place. So heat is added to the substance. Afterwards only what happens? The expansion takes place. So we could able to see some space being left in railway tracks. It is because during the summer time, more heat causes expansion. More heat causes what? Expansion in tracts. So expansion is greater for liquids. Expansion is greater for what? Liquids than solids. So the solids only having a more expansion. So expansion is greater for liquids than solids, and it is maximum in gases also. This is taken as what? Expansion. So now when a heat is added to a substance, the molecules gain energy and vibrate, and afterwards only what? The expansion takes place. Are you understand, children? So next we have to move on to change in state. When you heat the ice cubes, let us consider as a ice cube. This is taken as a solid state, isn't it? So let us consider as a ice cubes. When you heat the ice cubes, they become water, isn't it? And water on further heating changes into vapor. So the solid becomes liquid. Solid water, what happens? The solid becomes liquid, and again further we are heating, the liquid becomes vapor, or we have to call this what? The liquid becomes the gaseous state also when heat is added. So the reverse takes place when heat is removed. For example, the heat is removed from the liquid, so automatically it's changed into the solid state, isn't it? So this is only is called as change in state. So it changes from one state into the another one state when we have to apply the heat or we have to remove the heat. This is only is taken as change in heat. Okay. Now let us move on to the next change in temperature. When heat energy is added to a substance, the kinetic energy of its particles increases, isn't it? What happens when we have to apply the heat energy? The heat energy is applied to the substances, automatically the molecules are gaining energy, and afterwards it vibrates, isn't it? So the kinetic energy of its particles increases, so the particles move at higher speed. This causes a rise in temperature. Already we know what is temperature, isn't it? The degree of hotness or the coldness is called as the temperature. So the heat energy is increases, automatically the temperature also is rises. Suppose the substance is cooled, so what happens here? The heat is removed, isn't it? The heat energy is removed, so the molecules lost the heat energy and its temperature falls automatically. So this is the change in temperature. The heat energy is applied to the substance, here the temperature is rises. The heat energy is removed, automatically the temperature decreases. This is only happens in the change in temperature. And next one is chemical changes. Next one is what? Chemical changes. Since heat is a form of energy, and also it plays in the major role in the chemical changes. In some cases, chemical reactions need heat to begin, and also heat determines speed at which the reactions occurs. So the heat energy is very important. Afterwards only the some of the chemical reactions takes place, and it is used to speed up the reactions, and also it is used to heat to begin the reactions also. That is the starting stage we have to using the heat energy also. Suppose we have to cook food, we light the wood and it catches the fire, and food, the particles become soft because of the heat energy. So these are all the chemical changes taking place due to heat. Or you understand ma? So what are the effects of heat energy? One is expansion, the second one is change in state, third one change in temperature, and fourth one chemical changes. Are you understand ma? So next we are going to discuss a transfer of heat. See this small activity also. Take a glass of water and put some ice cubes into it. Observe it for some time. What happens? The ice cubes melt and disappear, isn't it? So the first the ice cubes are melted, and afterwards it disappear. Disappear means what? It's mixed with the glass of water. Why did it happen? It is because the heat energy in the water is transferred to the ice, isn't it? So the heat energy is transferred from water to the ice melted, and afterwards it mixed with the water also. This is taken as what? Transfer of heat. So heat does not stay where we put it. Hot things get colder and cold things get hotter. So heat is transferred from one place to the another till the temperature becomes equal. Heat takes place when the heat energy flows from an object with a higher temperature to an object with a lower temperature. Simply we have to say what? The heat energy is transferred from higher temperature to the lower temperature. This is only is called as a transfer of heat. Are you understand, children? So what and all we have discussed in this video. First we started the introduction about the heat, and second effects of heat, and third transfer of heat. Thank you, children.
We are going to learn the strength of acidic and basic solutions. A scale that is used to measure the amount of H plus ions present in a solution is called as pH scale. It is called as pH scale. Power of hydrogen ion concentration. This pH scale has got the numbers from 0 to 14. And the mid value is 7. The mid value is 7. The solutions which have pH lesser than 7 are said to be acidic in nature. They are acids. When pH of a solution is equal to 7, the solution is neutral. When the pH of a solution is greater than 7, it is base. So, the substance is acidic below pH 7 and it is a base above pH 7, and it is neutral when pH is equal to 7. So, this is the scale which is used for measuring the H plus ions, the concentration of hydrogen ions present in a solution. So that scale is called as pH scale. It has got the numbers from 0 to 14, the mid value being 7. As the solutions which have pH value lesser than 7 are called as acids. When the pH value is equal to 7, it is a neutral solution. When pH is greater than 7, then that solution is called as a base. The next topic is salts. Salts. We are having different types of salts like neutral salt, that is normal salt. Second one is acidic salt, basic salt, and also it is a double salt. Let us learn one by one. The first one is a normal salt which is formed by the complete neutralization of an acid by a base. So this is an acid. When it reacts with a base, it results in complete neutralization to form a normal salt, sodium chloride and water. An acidic salt is formed by taking calculated amount of a base with a polybasic acid. As a result, one of the hydrogen atoms of the acid is replaced partially by sodium metal. As a result, we get NaHSO4, sodium bisulfate and water. So the salt formed here is sodium bisulfate. See, HSO4. This OH combines with this hydrogen. As a result, water is produced. This sodium metal reacts with the remaining part of the acid. NaHSO4 is produced as the salt. So this salt, sodium bisulfate, is called as an acidic salt. Here we take calculated amount of the base. Calculated amount of the base is taken, and the acid is polybasic acid, children. Polybasic acid. The next type of salt is basic salt. Basic salt. It is prepared by taking calculated amount of acid and polyacidic base, lead hydroxide. Okay, so this is calculated amount of acid and polyhydroxide, that is lead hydroxide, is polyacidic base. Okay, children. Now this lead hydroxide splits like this. See, Pb, OH, OH. This OH combines with this hydrogen and comes out as water molecule. Then the remaining lead OHCl, lead hydroxychloride, that is formed as the product. Okay, so this salt is called as a basic salt. Basic salt. Here in the case of a basic salt, the hydroxyl group present in a polyacidic base is partially replaced by the non-metal present in the acid. Okay, children, as a result we get a basic salt. The next type is double salt. The next type of salt is a double salt. So the fourth type is double salt. Double salt. Example for a double salt is potash alum. Potash alum, which has got the formula KAlSO4 twice 12H2O. Potash alum is the double salt because it is the equimolar mixture of two simple salts, potassium sulfate and also aluminium sulfate, Al2SO4 thrice, aluminium sulfate. This is aluminium sulfate and this is potassium sulfate. A double salt is formed by mixing two different simple salts followed by crystallization. Potassium sulfate is a simple salt. It is mixed with aluminium sulfate, which is also a simple salt, followed by crystallization, results in the formation of a double salt, potash alum. So potash alum is a double salt. It has got the formula KAlSO4 twice 12H2O.